let's get to the Education Ministry, get some responses to all of these concerns that are coming up. Deputy Education Minister Dr. Osei Duchum is joining me right now on phone. Doc, thank you for your time. Good afternoon. Oh, on Zoom, rather, on Zoom. Right, Doc. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Okay.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
And you've been following this discussion since we started it, so I'm just going to throw it over to you. Now, from the NDC side, the opposition, from the PTA, the National Council of the PTA, they are saying that let's take our children back home. We want our children back home.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to be on your show. It's a great show, and it's an honor to speak to your audience. I've heard the argument of the PTA. I've also heard my friends from the other side of the aisle, the NDC, making a political argument. And the sad thing about this is when they say parents should take their children home. I mean, you can appeal to the government to close down the schools, so we'll deal with that. But to encourage parents to go to school, imagine the stampede and all the things that will cause. I think cooler heads should prevail. If there are anything that they believe is not going well, we are listening government. I will work fast and make sure we fix any challenges. But the idea that you're encouraging parents to run the schools and pick their children, I mean, that is not what we do in the middle of a pandemic. We have to make sure we are making the right decision and right calls in the interest of this great country of ours. We had no illusions at the time that the president considered the reopening of schools that there will be challenges. And as he said at the beginning, when he met with Charles, he also met with COPS, the Junior High School Association. At every step of the way, from universities all the way down to junior high schools, the president was mindful of the fact that he needed to consult and consult and consult. And at a point, form even another committee to look at how all the logistics will be provided. That was chaired by the senior minister. They did one of the largest deployment of resources across the country to make sure that schools could open. We also knew that there will be challenges. As a result, various measures were put in place. Close relationship with the Ghana Health Service and also Ghana Health Service, Ghana Education Service, monitoring side by side to ensure that in the case of any eventuality, they could ensure that our children are safe. That is what happened at Accra Girls. When the students were quarantined, they were tested. Immediately, they tested positive. They were isolated. That was what the protocol was, and it was followed. The PTA are making a number of statements, and some of them are simply not true. I'll talk to my brother, Mr. Damso. Maybe there's a breakdown in communication and he's not getting information from us directly. I'll make sure that we link up with him, and wherever there are issues that he needs clarification about, we'll definitely work with him so that we don't have a situation where he may be fed some half-truths and as a result make a call that will cause parents to panic. What we want to assure parents of at this point is this. I, as a person, understand. The government understand. The president understand. Nobody can take care of their children better than them. They are the ones who gave birth to the children. The way they would take care of them will never be able to take care of them better than their parents. Okay. But what we want to assure them is that the government has made provision for all the items that should be there to protect them. Initially, some schools got 2 face masks, others have gotten additional ones. We've also made a call to regional directors of education, headmasters of schools, that everything, the guidelines that we gave you, if there's any deficiency, please let us know. This afternoon, I was on the phone with Mercy, the Conference of Heads of Basic Schools, asking her any deficiency that is there. Let us know immediately. You see, these are different times. Our students across the world are looking at how do we manage this situation. Governments around the world, our neighbor Ivory Coast, the children went to school before us. Senegal, we have Sierra Leone, you have Cameroon, South Africa. South Africa even had a challenge during last week where about 31 schools had infections. They quickly shut the school down for a day, disinfected, and the kids are back. Everybody is looking at how do I operate in this environment and ensure that the children will be taken care of in terms of their safety, and at the same time we can do education. The over-politicization of this effort, some people have been saying that we ask them to go to school so that we can register. It's
exactly, and that's a point where I want to come in here, the doc. I wanted to come in for some time, but I wanted you to make the point because we need to assure the parents, like you're saying. But the point you make about political argument and about politicization of this, isn't it pretty clear when parents cannot have access to the school? So in Accra Girls, the parents, went to the school. They wanted to take their kids away. Of course, we didn't allow them, which was the right thing to do because we know that they're putting their own lives in danger. But political actors, if you like, government officials, and I can speak specifically about Nana B, who posted pictures of his interaction in the schools this weekend, and that's what got everybody talking. They're saying, I have my children, I can't visit my children, but a political actor can visit them. How is that okay?
Yeah, my sister, the bottom line is this. There are some senior high schools that were even registration centers for a start. And they register people from outside and register students at the same time. I will tell you this, as a consummate educationist and somebody who believes in the president's vision for education transformation, and the president who, even in COVID situation, did not take the easy way out. The easy way out should have been let the students stay at home so that they will get registered at their polling stations. Very easy. Government could have made that decision. The issue is very simple. In places where students have turned 18, they have a constitutional right to be registered. And from my checks with Charles, the headmasters, housemasters were always at those venues where they made sure the students were doing social distancing. There's no better place for people to social distance than a school campus where you have a headmaster and senior housemaster and housemaster standing there, and they have chairs where students can sit. We talk about Nana B. He has issued a statement, and of course, that he did not go there to campaign. He went there to just check to see how the registration was going. These days, we have to be careful with what we see in terms of pictures. But
was that his responsibility to do so when parents don't even have access to the schools?
No, I tell you this. What I'm saying is that nobody should go to any campus and do a political campaign. There has been an allegation to that effect. Ghana Education Service ultimately is responsible for running of schools, and they are going to look into those allegations that are coming in social media and on TV to actually see what took place. I think I saw a disclaimer from Nana B that said he did not go there to campaign. He just passed through to see how the registration was going. But Professor Poko Amankwa, that I know, is going to get to the bottom of it. He's going to make sure that it doesn't really matter who you are, that campuses cannot be grounds for political campaigns. But based on what I've heard and read from Nana B, he's making it clear that he did not go there to do campaigning and get the children to vote for any government. Let me tell you this. Senior high school students are not a monolithic group. They register, but when it's time for election, they decide who they are going to vote for. Of course, they'll be grateful to Nana Danko Akufo, and I don't think they need any reminder of anybody going there to remind them. But the idea that Ghana Education Service will support any campaigning on any school campus, they've made it clear that they don't support anyone going to school campuses to campaign. What I want to assure parents on this is the fact that we understand the anxiety. No parent at this point will not be anxious. The Gold Track students are into their 4th week. After the end of this week, they have 2 more weeks, and they will be going home, and will be left with the senior high school 3 students on our campuses. And we are praying after the Go track goes, they also have about 4 to 5 weeks. Most of them will finish in 4 weeks' time. And then they will go home to their parents. That is what we are working hard on.
I've run out of time, but I need to ask you this. I need to ask you about the update from the KNUST Senior High School, the investigation. We understand that a committee has been put together, and that committee will be inaugurated tomorrow to start the investigation. In the meantime, what's happening to those who were in authority at the time this happened, and who is on this committee?
The committee was constituted mainly at the regional level. Invariably, under these circumstances, they have people from different law enforcement agencies and then from the education, from the municipality. They actually bring people together from different backgrounds to participate in the process. But I will tell you this, my heart goes out, and our heart goes out to the family that have lost a son. May his soul rest in peace. But I'll tell you, the protocol of GES was not followed under this circumstance. Forget about even COVID-19 situation. The protocol is very clear. A child who is sick and is a boarding house should be taken to a hospital or a clinic. And in this case, the hospital that has been mapped onto the school is the KNUST hospital. That student should have been taken to that hospital. And once they are on the way or they get to the hospital, that's why they call mom and say, "Mom, your child is sick." You don't call any parent to come and pick up their son, even without COVID. That is not a protocol. And most headmasters will tell you that that is not a protocol. And that is why the headmistress has been interdicted, the senior housemaster and other staff who have responsibility has been interdicted pending the investigation. But I will tell you this, we pray and hope and expect that this will not happen anywhere else, because the life and safety of our children is too important to be toyed with under any circumstance, with or without COVID.
All right. Doc, thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but I really also wanted to find out what actually went into the EC's decision to go in there to register. Maybe we can raise that topic another time. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Dr. Osei Oduchum is a Deputy Health, beg your pardon, Deputy Education Minister. We've been talking about coronavirus, so I guess you can understand that.